Welcome everyone to Hansel Financial. Today we're gonna dive deep into the topic of home ownership. So let's get right into this topic, but don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe below. Let's talk a little bit about owning a home, all the ins and outs of owning a home from A to Z. We actually purchased our first home back in 2019. It was a 3-2. We were brand new to the entire process. And so for us, we knew we needed to have some down payment money, property taxes, and, homeowners insurance, that kind of stuff. So we knew the basics of it, but some things we did not expect, which we're going to go into later in this video. But I wanted to make this video just to kind of talk about things that you might not have thought of when wanting to own a home, the other aspects of, ownership, from maintenance to repairing things that get broken to the cost of what it can do to run a house. Also, just the pure enjoyment of owning your own house, owning your own property. Basically, you are able to make it your own. So we all know, obviously, when you need to purchase a home, you need to have a down payment. There's tons of loans out there. I'm not going to get on to the nitty gritty of the loans, but again, the most popular ones are going to be your 3.5% down, your 5% down, 10%, and then 20% down. Depending on your financial situation, how much you can actually afford, you're going to need to decide which one of those loans is best qualified for you. Again, you want to talk to a qualified mortgage loan person as well. This is not financial advice. I'm just giving you my opinion. But you need to make sure that you have the amount of down payment that you need, cash for the down payment. And then you also need to figure out what you can actually afford with your salary corresponding to the value of the home. The rule that most people try and stick by is you want to stick within 33% of what your monthly income is for your mortgage. Doesn't want to exceed that number. Again, we need to just make sure that we are figuring out our finances first. That's the first and foremost before you can purchase a house. Is obviously you need the money in order to purchase the house. All right, so now that you got your finances in order and you know what type of house that you can afford, size-wise, price-wise, maybe even the location of the house, now it's time to pick out the house. This part can be the part that's enjoyable. You go around, you shop for houses, you go work with a realtor possible. You can look at houses, look online at houses, pictures, go and view the property yourself, see which ones you love. Then hopefully you can put in an offer on a house and you will be able to have that offer accepted from the current homeowners, and then you can obviously go through the process of purchasing that house. I will say, when you finally get to the closing day, there is a lot of paperwork to sign, and I'm not joking when I say there's a lot. So make sure you do those arm exercises. Make sure you bring some ice for your wrist, because you will be signing your name. Basically, it feels like you're signing your life away to purchasing a house. That's just the way it is. You get the house, and then you're a homeowner. Then the real fun begins of owning a house. So once you purchase your house and you start living in it and owning it, now you can make it your own. From painting the inside of the house, buying decor for the house, curtains and stuff, or paintings for the walls. Maybe it's also time to buy some furniture as well for the house. Maybe you purchase a house that also needs appliances. So there is some cases where the previous homeowners will actually take appliances, most notably the fridges they might take with them as they move, and then the washer and dryer are also more common appliances that the previous homeowner might take with them and will not leave those to you. So again, when you are purchasing a house, make sure that you are remembering, hey, I'm gonna need to budget out X amount of money to purchase some new appliances. And again, those appliances can be very expensive. The fridges are probably gonna be the most expensive appliance that you're gonna be purchasing. The other ones, they are expensive, but they're not as bad. For whatever reason, the refrigerators are the ones that are going to cost you the most. So besides appliances, paint, that kind of stuff, you might have to do some landscaping, some yard work to get the house ready. But again, owning a house and making the house your own, it is not a sprint, it is a marathon. So that's something to remind yourself. Don't try and tackle all the projects at once. Try and get everything done within a couple months of you owning the house. It's going to take time. It's going to take money and resources to make the house exactly how you want it to be. So that's a great tip to remember as a first-time home buyer, or even a seasoned home buyer, is just remember, hey, it takes time. And also, that's the fun of it. You can go room by room, make it your own from ceiling down to the carpet. So again, don't feel pressure that, hey, I bought this house, now I got to make every single room feel like my own and put my own stamp onto this house. It's going to take time, and everyone takes time. Like I said, growing up, my parents, when they bought their house, it took them 20 years to basically get to every single room at some point, from painting to redoing bathrooms or kitchens or flooring, whatever the case might be. But, it took them over 20 years to basically get all the stuff that they want to do. And once you get to those 20 years, guess what? You go back to the beginning of whatever you did the very first time, and then now that probably needs to be redone. It could be outdated or needs to be fixed or touched up or whatever the case might be. So along with, making the house your own is going to be the routine house maintenance that you're going to also have to do with your house. That could be from simple things like making sure your windows are caulked. So for, summertime, wintertime, you want to make sure there's no gaps in the windows, as an example. You might have to do some maintenance of maybe you have a leaky faucet, or you might have a leaky drain underneath the sink. You got to patch holes in the walls from the previous homeowner. Whatever the case might be, there's always going to be maintenance going on with your house. That is something that a lot of people don't realize when they purchase a house, is that it does take work to keep your house up. And I know for me personally, I like to have my house looking good, so I'm always trying to stay on top of my house maintenance, because I like coming home to a very nice house. I like seeing a nicely kept up house. That's just me personally. I think it just kind of helps keep my mind clear. It's just something that our family takes we're very prideful, and we really like that aspect of it. So that's something to be aware of. Stuff is going to break. It's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when. So a great example is when we purchased this house about 2.5 years ago. We have put into this house of repairing broken things, probably close to $25,000 to $30,000 worth of stuff. From roof replaced, we needed to repipe our entire house. So from top to bottom, every hot water and cold water line, we had to basically replace it with fresh new lines. We also had to replace our HVAC system, so our AC system and our furnace that had to get replaced. We also had to basically buy appliances as well, and some appliances broke, and so we replaced every appliance in the house minus the stove. Things like that are going to add up, and you're going to need to remember that it's not a matter of if something's going to break, it's just a matter of when a certain thing is going to break in your house. But again, that's just the reality of owning a home. When you're the homeowner, you don't have the luxury of having, if you rent the house, then the owner of that house has to replace it. You're the homeowner, so you're gonna have to fork out the money in order to replace that stuff. Now there's programs out there you can use. They have home warranties, that kind of stuff that you can pay per month. They can help you pay for those things that do break. But just something to be aware of. And you probably want to set aside some money each month for those things that do come up, or add that into your emergency fund, into your budget, that we want to make sure that we are setting money aside to repair or even replace bigger items that, like I said, are going to break at some point in time. But anyway, enough of the talking about some of that breaks and stuff. It really is fun owning a home. Like I said, you can call it your own. You're not renting. You can do whatever you want to the inside. You can make it however you want it to be and feel like in the inside as well. If you want each room of your house to be painted in black, you can do it. If you want one of your rooms to be just a gaming studio, you can do it. If you want one of your bedrooms to be like a little home theater system, guess what? You can do it. Don't have to ask anyone permission. So there are a ton of upsides as well of owning your own house as well. And they're not just downsides. You have all the upsides, and then again, your house is also going to be a great asset for you, because the majority of the time, home values will go up over time. It probably won't continue at the craze it's going right now the past 5 years. Home prices skyrocketing. But if you look at the longevity of, I guess, the housing market, over time, the home values have always been going up. So that's also something to keep in mind, is it can also be considered as an investment. That's also a great perk of being a homeowner. You can also, put things outside too. You can, if you are stay-at-home bodies like my family is, you can make it the outside. If you have a big enough yard, at a porch, you can even put a pool in. You can really do whatever that you want to your house. So obviously, you're going to have some HOAs depending on where you live, so you might not be able to do everything that you want to do, because again, if you live in a development that has a HOA, you're going to have to abide by their rules, sadly. But for the most part, you can really do whatever you want to your house. I would say owning a home is a lot of fun, especially when you have kids and a family. I have a toddler, and we have another one on the way, and so it's just fun to have a home where they can just grow up in and be able to just do things as a family. It is a ton of fun. And lastly, I just want to just touch base on this as well, is when you are purchasing your house, again, you don't want to be house poor either. Being house poor means if you spend too much than what you can afford, and so basically too much of your income per month is going toward your mortgage. The house poor means you are affording your house, but you can't do anything with it. Like you don't have the finances to do paint or maybe replace broken things, or make it your own. I would recommend trying not to be a house poor per se. You want to make sure that you are being able to afford the house within your income, within your budget. You are still able to have money aside to do fun things to your house. Again, make the house your own, make it feel like a home to you and to your family. Well, everyone, that's the ins and outs of buying a home. Try to hit the big points from A to Z, from starting out financially, trying to see if you can afford a house, to owning it, to doing things to it, and then just enjoying it with your family and friends. I hope you guys found this entertaining. I hope you guys found it informative as well. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe below, and I hope you guys all have a good one out there.